Bridgewater founder Ray Dalio, the latest Wall Street titan to weigh in on investing in China. Dalio saying, quote, "It's part of the world that one can't neglect," at an event last night. This follows an op-ed from billionaire investor George Soros earlier this week, where he called it a tragic mistake to pour billions of dollars into China right now. Soros making those comments on the heels of BlackRock, launching its mutual fund in the country last month. BlackRock chairman and CEO Larry Fink wrote the Chinese market, quote, "represents a significant opportunity" in a letter to shareholders earlier this year. Let's bring in Heyman Capital Management founder and CIO Kyle Bass, who joins us in a Closing Bell exclusive. Kyle, good to see you as always. Where are you on this debate today versus your view towards the level of opportunity versus risk in China over the last 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, it's important, Wilfred. First of all, good to be here. It's important to note that if you look back at the Shanghai Index over the last 10 years, it is compounded annually at only 3.4%, while the S&P is compounded annually at 14% over the last 10 years. And you have BlackRock's chief investment strategist, Wei Li, a Chinese national, telling us that we should triple our investment allocations to China because it's no longer an emerging economy, it's a developed economy. And she says that we're being compensated for the extra risks. Number one, they don't submit themselves to audits like the West does. Any company you invest in China, you're just hoping they're telling you the truth about the numbers. There's no verification of that truth. And now we have Xi Jinping risk. And Wilfred, I don't know about your models, but how would you discount Xi Jinping risk coming in and laying waste to an entire sector of for-profit education, or deciding just to take half the profits of whichever companies he wants to take the profits for the common prosperity and the Maoism of what Xi Jinping's talking about? I think what Ray Dalio is saying and what BlackRock's saying is crazy. I agree with George Soros 100% on this issue.
So what have you removed all exposure you have to China, or are there other ways you can do it? You can get exposure to these sorts of themes without the risk?
You know, due to criticism, I eliminated all of my China exposure years ago. So right now, I'm just coming to you as a concerned citizen and a proud fiduciary. And you know, I don't think you can be a fiduciary and say that you're being compensated for the extra risks of China with their rule by law, no rule of law, no audits, and Xi Jinping risk. And the returns in China are horrible compared to the returns in the United States. So I think it's important, Wilfred, the next time you get Ray Dalio on, I've never heard anyone in the media ask him, how much money does the Chinese government have invested in Ray's fund? I hear they're one of his largest investors with multiple billions of investment for the last decade. The Chinese state apparatus is one of Ray's largest investors. Why don't you ask him how much the Chinese government has invested in his funds?